Today we're going to learn how to solder, and in order to teach you guys how to do that, I'm going to be using this 4H clover and this LED right here. I'm going to solder the LED to the 4H clover. To begin, we've got to make sure we have all of our parts. I've got a helping hand right here. I've also got my soldering iron and some solder. And so before we start, we've got to make sure that we understand our components really well. If you look at the 4H clover, you'll notice that it has a bunch of circles around the edge, and that's where our LEDs are going to go. The circle has a nice little flat part right here, and that's telling me that the negative side is going to go on the flat part in that direction. If you look at your LED, alright, so here's your LED right here. If you look at it, the short side right here is going to be the negative side, and the positive side right here is going to be the longer side. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. I'm going to want to make sure that, whoops, it's nice and secure before I start soldering. So I placed it in the right direction. In order to keep it secure, I like to fold down the leads. If you have a really short lead, you can use tape and tape it in to make sure it's nice and secure, and it'll stay in place while you do your soldering. And I'll place it in my helping hand. And so, really simply, a lot of people like to take the soldering iron and they'll feed the solder onto it, and then they'll kind of dab it into place. That's actually not very helpful because it makes it difficult for the solder to stick to the board. And so I'm going to heat up our components before we start. I'm going to feed the solder just right into it. And so I'm going to leave the iron there for a little bit. I'm going to wait. I'm just going to feed this right into it, right into place, and I'll wait for it to start melting. There we go. And I'll just feed it into it, and then I'll pull away the solder, and I'll wait. And the solder is actually going to suck inside that little hole, and then I can pull it away. Just like that. That's a good solder. Alright. So yet again, let me show you again real fast. I'm going to place my iron where I want it to solder. I'm going to wait a little bit. And I'm just going to feed in the solder into the place where I want it. I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm going to wait for it to suck into place. Wait a little bit more. And there we go. So just like that. If you guys have any questions, let us know, but now you guys are ready to start soldering.